Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. We are broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City. Hey, I want to remind you, you don't just have to be a member of Ravens Roost 44 to come on down for the show every Wednesday. Now, we're doing this on Monday because of the game on Thursday, but most shows are on Wednesday. And hey, we're making it more than worth your while. Every show that we do, we give away raffle tickets and we draw a winner at the end for a Ravens jersey, an authentic Nike Ravens jersey. In fact, today we're giving away a Joe Flacco jersey. So you want to come down here. That's right, all 16 weeks we are giving away an authentic jersey. Joel's holding the one right now. So that's the exact jersey that Joe wore Sunday when we beat the Patriots. And also, we've got tickets. Our friends from jctickets.net who are back on board with us for this season. We've got raffles to give away, Ravens tickets for several games throughout the season. So you want to come down and be a part of that as well. So we hope to see you down here at the Blue Ox for every Ravens Wrap show right here, again on Comcast Beach TV and 93.5 The Beach. All right, guys, as we continue to talk about the 31-30 win over the New England Patriots, I guess I made mention in the last segment as well that, I thought Jacoby Jones, who questionable, I guess, coming in a free agent, a guy could stretch the field, but, a little bit worried about his hands, inconsistent hands, and yet so far this season, guys, he's come through with flying colors, and I beat a drum on this to death up in Baltimore about having a complementary vertical threat to Torrey Smith, and we have that guy, and I'm certainly hoping, you take a look at the stats, 3 catches for 86 yards against the Patriots for a 28.7 yard average. I certainly hope that they get him more involved in the passing game as time goes on here.
Yeah, the inconsistent hands, I haven't really seen it. He seems to be doing well, and I think his big stats probably the ones you don't really see a whole lot. The yak stat, the yards after catch. I mean, he can stretch the field, and I mean, he can run. That guy can move. I mean, it's definitely nice to have some speed back there, and with Torrey, because we know Bolden's not the fastest guy out there, but Bolden's
he's a slot guy.
Yeah, and he's doing his thing. So no, I think he definitely fits in.
And Tony, we've talked about that a lot up in Baltimore too, having me on my show, that having Bolden in the slot this year I think makes all the difference in the world, because the last 2 years his numbers have dropped off from where he used to be with Arizona, and when he first started out with the Ravens, I think that makes a big difference for him.
I think it does too, and when you see the types of matchups he gets from the slot position, usually you have a smaller corner that's in, like Darius Webb, he slides in for the Ravens when they're in nickel, so I think you can get the physicality of Anquan Bolden working against those smaller corners, and he'll be more productive that way.
Go ahead.
Talking about Jacoby Jones, though, I mean, he's the one guy that the Ravens have that Torrey Smith may be faster than him if they just lined up and raced each other, but the guy that really, when you watch both live and on TV, I mean, he just stands out. He's like Darren McFadden almost. When you're watching the game, there's a guy that plays at a different speed, a different level, and that's Jacoby Jones. So, he's something good's going to happen. I mean, a 28-yard average is serious business.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I mean, it really. And talking about Bolden, though, I mean, the fact that he's slow, we saw what happens on. I think it was 3rd and 7. A quick slant, quick hitter. I think it was in the first quarter. 5-yard play, because he can't move anymore. I mean, he might be a smaller guy, but he's got to make plays now with his size, and got tackled at 6 yards. So
Yeah, and that
he's
size
just,
helps out too. Plays that made the
That's how
difference in the end of the game.
it's gonna win those.
The pass interference penalty.
You take a look at the distribution. Torrey Smith, 6 catches, Jones 3, Pitta 5, Rice 5, Bolden 4, a couple to Leach and Dixon, 1 to Pierce. I mean, a lot of equal distribution. So again, we talk about the variety and the versatility and just the amount of weapons now that Joe has at his disposal. It's again like none other that we've had in Baltimore over the last several years, probably going back to the Vinny Testaverde days in the first couple of years where we had no defense though to complement the great offense.
and the play that Jacoby Jones made, the one that we're not talking about, was the speed to get behind the corner on the pass interference play to set up the field goal. That's the type of speed that kills. You throw it up there, and because the defender's got his numbers back to Joe, you throw, even if it's a little short, even if it's an imperfect pass, because Jacoby Jones beat his man, pass interference, you don't need to catch the ball all the time when you have a lot of speed. So it just kills. I mean, speed kills is absolutely true in football.
And it's not being a homer. You go back to that Philadelphia Eagles game, ESPN, several other outlets said that the quote-unquote offensive pass interference against Nnamdi Asomugha and the Eagles was bogus, and so that should have been a touchdown, which would have won the game. So certainly making an impact in this offense so far, and on special teams, done a pretty good job on punt return as well. We'll talk about special teams in a second. We can't go a show without talking about Joe Flacco. Got off certainly to a rough start, and let's be honest though. I mean, he had a very good game. There were a couple throws though, folks, that he had 1 interception, 3 touchdowns. He could have been picked off 2 or 3 other times. Hey, it happens. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But all in all, though, certainly, 28 of 39, 382 yards in the game, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think Torrey Smith made a great play, turning into a defensive player on the one that could have been picked. There was that loft to Bolden where the corner, falls over. So, again, some luck plays into it as well. But I guess the 2 things that stick out, guys, is, you look at the end of the game, the ability to drive the team down the field. You go back to that Pittsburgh game last year where it seemed like here we are again. We're going to lose to Pittsburgh again on the road in a close game. He drives them down the field. They win on a Torrey Smith touchdown. And this time he drives them down the field twice, touchdown and field goal. He's certainly, again, coming into his own, especially against the Patriots team where he's now having some success recently.
He's definitely standing out. I think you can see the difference this year. I think it's taken him a while, but this is finally his team. He's in command. He still makes mistakes. I think in the past he would make mistakes throughout the whole game. I don't know if he was really learning from them. Now, the interception, it was a bad throw. He knew it was a bad throw. We all knew that. But, he learned from it. He came out. But the 3rd and 4th quarter is when we really need it, and he's performing at as high a level as most quarterbacks in the league.
Tony, 4th quarter stats. Tom Brady, 5 for 9, 41 yards. Joe Flacco, 11 for 14, 124 and a touchdown. In critical times, that's huge. He's coming through again. The last 2 games against the Patriots, 4th quarter, he's outplayed Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's looked really good doing it. And I think one of the things that I noticed yesterday in the game is that he's making some plays with his feet. It's not like he's getting a lot of yards running the ball. He got the 1 first down where he reached over for a 5-yard gain to continue a drive. But I think he's buying himself some time and moving outside the pocket, which I really like to see. And on the 1 Torrey Smith touchdown pass, he flushed out to the right and hit him in the front corner of the end zone. So I like to see him doing those kinds of things too, instead of waiting for something to happen in the pocket. As the pocket collapses, we've seen him too many times fumbling the ball, holding on to it too long.
And John, I think in terms of accuracy of the deep ball, I think he's certainly making strides there. I mean, he's looked very good throwing the deep ball, I think, for the most part this year. And against the cover 2 there, I mean, some really nice throws in between the corner and the safety yesterday.
Yeah, I tell you, and you're talking about the 4th quarter, the last drive, his first 3 balls he threw were right on the money, right on the sideline. I mean, you can't throw it any better. You can't make better passes. I guess this is my beef with Joe why I'm hard on him, because he can make those plays all day long. And then the very next play, after 3 perfect balls, he just throws up what's basically a punt. All right, and if the guy doesn't trip over a piece of grass, game over, the other way. So, I mean, that's kind of it. Now, it worked out for us. And sometimes, you just cross your fingers and toes and everything else, and everything works out. But that's, he's playing at a higher level than he has last year. I mean, 250 yards or so passing in the second half. I mean, you can't take it away from the guy. Not even I can.
And guys, and I think in terms of, I know against Philadelphia there was talk that we didn't run the ball. We all talked about in the second half enough against the Eagles. We were gashing them. In terms of touches in this game, Ray Rice 25, 20 carries and 5 receptions, and I think that's about on target, guys. Between 25 and 30, I'd say is a magic number. And realizing too now that you have more weapons, so his numbers may go down in terms of touches a little bit, but that's okay because now we have the added weapons.
And I think it makes him for him to have more productive touches. Because if you look at the averages, I think they're
5.1.
But there will be games when he gets a lot of touches. I mean, there are going to be games when we're going to need him to have 200 yards rushing in a game or total offense, and he'll probably have the opportunity to do that. This is still very young, early in the season. There's a lot of game film now that is going to be watched by a lot of coaches in the future, and they're going to have more. Right now, it's still Ray Rice. Now people are saying, well, what's going on? With these Ravens, it's kind of different than what I thought coming into the season. All this pre-planning they were doing in the offseason is now kind of out the window. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to be looking at game film, and a lot of that game film doesn't have Ray Rice on film. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Ray Rice, and you were just going to have to call the plays that are there, attack the weakness, and I have a feeling we're going to be doing that. It's going to be a pretty exciting time here.
And Joel, to dovetail Ray Rice, Bernard Pierce, who didn't get to play a whole lot during the preseason, was injured and such, 4 carries, 17 yards in limited time so far. First couple of games, he's looked very good.
Other than the 4th and 1 play, which we talked about a little bit before the show, which didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to. But yeah, I thought he was, he was getting some good numbers there. Which I still, just goes back to the offensive line. And back to Ray Rice, I know we've talked about it, the weapons and having the different weapons. I think it's just nice, too, it just felt like last year the burden was on Ray Rice. He had to perform. He had to get 30 touches a game. He had to get 200 yards, on offense for us to win. And now, I think he's just as happy sitting back there, with 75 yards and a victory, So.
But I would like for him to get one more touch, on 4th and 1. Maybe he should be getting a touch.
Yeah.
Instead of some rookie backup guy.
Probably should have your horse in there on that play, but.
And then having McKinney, in motion somehow, some weird play.
Well, I thought that was just a good play by the New England Patriot linebacker there. Ended up going through the gap and messed up the assignments for the Ravens there. I guess you could argue, though, about going for it or not. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, which it didn't, we could have used that field goal thinking about it. We wouldn't have necessarily had to driven down the field again. But
biggest play of the game, biggest play maybe of a young season at the time. And your biggest player. I mean, we need to I've said this before. This is like being married to the most George Clooney, right, for you ladies, or Giselle, right?
We've gone down this road before. It's not going to end well, but let him. I can't wait for this. Okay.
But you think Tom Brady forgets how hot Giselle is? I mean, we have a hot girl, right? The hottest girl, Ray Rice. But we forget how hot he is because we live with him. He's like ours.
So we take him for granted.
It's like the same old pack of crackers.
There we go.
There we go.
Sometimes you just want another pack of crackers, even if it's less. So we bring in a worse pack, a stale pack of crackers. Not even stale, because I guess you can't have rookie can't
Just
be
a
stale.
new pack.
Right, just another pack.
All right. Well, thank God this segment's coming to an end before John digs that 12-foot hole now.
But why?
More of the Ravens Wrap Show coming up on
just-
Comcast Beach TV.
Just appreciate your
And
crackers.
93.5 The Beach.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.